not an opening statement kind of guy.
Coach, when you look back at the Savannah State, what were some of the areas where you really thought the team improved from week to week?
Took care of the ball a little bit better, other than the second play of the game. So we had less turnovers, which was good. But you know, overall, I thought the execution from the beginning was good. You know, so I mean, the biggest thing that we put an emphasis on was really taking care of the football. You know, we had too many turnovers game one, so you know, obviously after the second play of the game, it was a little bit frustrating. But as time went on, we took care of it better.
Do you felt like Nick handled that early interception well?
Yeah, he handles things well. And so, I mean, you know, just bad things happen sometimes, you know. And so, the guy made a good play. Obviously, Nick's got to get the ball over the guy and get it to Ito. But we also, I mean, if you really look at the play in general, you know, we had a receiver that could have got open on that play, and he did a very poor job of getting a release, very poor job of running the route. And so the ball had to go to Ito because of that. You know, now if you really want to get down to it, if the guy does a better job, then the ball is probably a 75-yard touchdown. But you know, and that's part of being focused at the beginning of the game, doing the little things right, you know, all week. And so I thought that our focus there was poor. And so, you know, ultimately it's Nick's fault. Obviously, I get that, but if you look at the play, other people could have done a better job too.
Well, on Ito's long run there in the kind of the nether region between the first and second quarter.
Yeah.
He and Nick both brought up Isaiah Jones's blocking down.
No doubt.
So if you could kind of.
Yeah, unbelievable effort. You know, I mean, anytime you get long runs like that, typically there's some people you got to pat on the back if you're a running back. You know, and Isaiah, I mean, he blocked all the way down the field, blocked one guy, blocked another guy. Awesome to see. And the only way you get an 80, I mean, however long of a run it was, how far was it, 80? 86. I mean, there's no way to get that unless receivers are blocking downfield. Great effort by Isaiah. I thought Isaiah blocked well all night on the perimeter.
How good is Nick at making the right decision?
Really good. I mean, you know, I think that out of 2 games, there's probably one decision-making deal that I see that was a real big problem. That's a little bit, you know, it's kind of the frustrating thing about having, and I talked to Nick about it after when he walked off the field. He was like, why does bad things have to happen to me? You know, it's like, look, man, I said, it's life. You know, the ball's not circle, it's oblong, so it bounces and goes a lot of weird different ways. So, you know, but ultimately, if you look at just decision-making, you know, I didn't see many problems in that game either. You know, even that play, you know, we just got to get it over him, you know. And again, there's other things that happen there, but the decision-making part was good. The ball was going to the right place. You just, you know, got to get the ball over the guy. And so, ultimately, that's what makes him who he is. To be honest with you, you know, the ball goes to the right place. And so, there's been a couple times the first 2 games that bad things have happened, but it wasn't because that wasn't where the ball was supposed to be going.
In summarization, I guess, can you describe for your office, just give an evaluation of it?
You know, overall, let's see, you know, concerns are ball security. You know, I think we're turning the ball over too much. You know, if you go game 1 to game 2, especially game 1 where it could have been easily 5. You know, you have the 3, but the other 2 can lose you the game. You know, the one on the 1-yard line when Ito fumbled it, and the one where we get sacked. You know, those 2 were the ones that stuck out in my mind. So our overall ball security game 2 was better. You know, as far as carrying the balls weren't on the ground, and so that's a huge plus. So, you know, if you look at, like, in my opinion, the 3 critical phases offensively to win games. You know, third downs were good. We're 57% on third downs or whatever, so that's really high. It's really good. A little bit of concern with third and short because you need to be close to 100% on third and short. I think Saturday we were 50%. And so we ended up getting some fourth and shorts and got it. So ultimately on the sheet it didn't look bad, but when you look at it, we're like 70, 80% on third and medium, and we're 50% on third and short. Well, third and short needs to be better than that, you know. And so, and in the red zone, you know, red zone, we were 100% the first game, and I think 90-something% the second game, which the last drive ended down there. So that was the one we didn't get. And so we got to make better decisions down there right at the end. But ultimately, you want to score touchdowns, not field goals. And I thought that was a plus from game 1 to game 2, is we wasn't kicking field goals. You know, we kicked 2 field goals. Game 1, we were 100% down there, but we were 70% touchdowns. Needs to be 75 to 78% touchdowns. So.
What's considered third and short? Third and 3, third and 2?
1 to 2.
1 and 2.
Yep, 3 to 6 medium, 1 to 2 short.
So, Coach Hobson talked about how Troy kind of got the attention of pretty much everybody, or they should have if they didn't. What did you see?
Yeah, no doubt. Played with great effort. They do a lot of movement. They're all over the place on defense as far as up front goes. I mean, we definitely have our challenge ahead of us Saturday, and preparing for it too. But I thought defensively they played with great effort. You know, they do a lot. They do multiple things in the back end, which is, you know, again, it's going to put our decision making to the test. But ultimately, you look at football games as far as effort goes. You know, play hard, and they definitely, you know, Neil's done a great job getting kids to play hard. You know.
You said they're all over the place on defense, especially up front. That's kind of similar to what you see in practice, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no doubt. Good point.
Coach, with what Troy did against Clemson, Coach Hobson was saying how it kind of wakes everybody up if they weren't awake already to what they can do. So how does that performance force you guys to really take a hard look at them this week?
Well, I mean, hopefully we'd take a hard look at them anyway, because that's the next opponent, you know. So, I mean, I don't know if that changes our process, because, you know, and I think Coach Hobson would agree that your week-to-week process better be the same, you know, regardless of who you play. You know, the same way last week we preached, we're going to prepare the same way. You know, we're going to have a great Monday. We're going to win the game in the week. And so I don't think that's any different because Troy played Clemson well. I'm sure if you ask those guys over there playing well versus Clemson and getting it done, you know. I mean, ultimately wins and losses. But on our end, you know, obviously when the team's coming off of a performance like that, it's probably going to open the eyes of some of the players. But as far as coaches, I mean, look, we're in here the same amount of time. We're going to put the same amount of stress on them.
Played a lot of guys. We're able to get a lot of guys into
Yeah.
the game. Was wondering how some of those guys that, you know, maybe getting their first taste of it this year, how they came out. Anybody catch the eye?
I thought obviously, you know, getting Parker 40-something reps was huge in a game. One guy that I thought that needed those reps was Tez. You know, Tez is coming off an injury. He's, you know, confidence is not the right word to use, but if anybody in here has had an injury, you understand how the mind and body have to be healed in the same. And so, you know, I thought that getting him some, you could see over time in that game when Tez was running the ball how he started just to get back to his form, you know, because Tez is extremely talented. And when he starts trusting everything and he starts running with just instincts, I mean, the kid can really play. And so it's just a process of coming off an injury. And I think you could tell as the game went on, he started gaining confidence that, hey, everything's healthy, mind, body, and everything. And so I thought getting him those reps was big.
Coach said Oliver was the offensive player of the
No
game.
doubt.
Just talk about his performance.
Just overall effort. You know, Oliver's talented, really talented. And so, but if you watch the tape, you know, sometimes he's blocking 30, 40 yards down the field, you know, which is unbelievable. And so I just thought his overall effort from the beginning to the end of the game, because, I mean, our depth level, especially up front, I mean, we can't wholesale sub everybody in games like that. So we had to have some guys that were starters and playing a lot that play all the way through the course of the game. And even at the end when Oliver was in there, I mean, he was blocking people 30 yards down the field. You know, it just, to me, it showed that the kid loves to play football, regardless. It doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter anything. He lined up and did his job with great effort and great enthusiasm every play. And that's why he got the player of the week, you know. And I think that, you know, if everybody can play like they're 12, 13 years old in the backyard, just enjoying to play football, enjoying to play any sport, I think that's what you're trying to get to. And he definitely showed that Saturday. Just had a great time out there.
2 more questions?
What do you know about Coach Brown of Troy?
What I know about him?
What are you familiar? Yeah.
I know him well. And so, yeah, I respect the guy. Guy's had a great career. I've crossed paths with him a couple times. Know the guy really well, and so I followed him at UK. He was there before I was, so I mean, you know the guy well. Coach Edenfield is one of his coaches there, and me and him actually went to the same high school. My dad coached Coach Edenfield in high school, and so he claims that Coach Edenfield was the best player that ever played at my high school. So. So there you go. A little shot to me every time. I know both of those guys well. Great guys, and do a great job.
Anything else?
Real quick, when a team like Troy plays Clemson that close, I mean, how much confidence does that give them? And I mean, they'll just be coming in here ready to play.
I think anytime you see your efforts pay off, you know, obviously gives you confidence. You know, that's what you want to see as coaches. The frustrating thing about coaching is sometimes you're in situations where you're working hard and you're really doing the right things Monday through Friday, and it's not showing up on Saturday. That can be frustrating, right? And you can see that across the nation with some teams. It's like, you know, they're working hard during the week, and things aren't connecting on Saturday, you know. And so I think when you see the fruits of your labor like that on Saturday, obviously it gives you an injection of confidence, you know, because it's just overall belief. Like, what we're doing is working, guys, you know, let's stick with it, you know. So I definitely think that doesn't do anything but help.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate it, guys.